Hello and a very warm welcome. The preamble to the Indian Constitution declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. The words socialist and secular were not a part of Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar's constitution adopted on the 26th of January in 1950 when India became a republic. These two words, socialist and secular, were added by the 42nd Amendment in 1976 when the emergency was on. During the emergency, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh General Secretary Dattatreya Hosabale has called for a debate to ask whether words like socialist and secular should remain in the constitution. And he has stirred a hornet's nest.
RSS General Secretary's big statement.
सेक्युलरिज्म और सोशलिज्म की तो प्रस्तावना में नहीं थे पहले। बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर ने जो संविधान बनाया था उस के प्रस्तावना में ये दो शब्द नहीं थे।
He asks, should socialist and secular be dropped from the preamble? BJP backs RSS over the Samvidhan debate.
Any right-thinking citizen will endorse it because everybody knows that this is not the part of the original constitution which was written by Dr. Ambedkar and the rest of the committee.
Congress claims it's a bid to destroy the constitution. The big constitution clash is top focus on India First.
So RSS General Secretary Dattatreya Hosabale was at the Ambedkar International Center. He said, and I quote, "The words socialist and secular were added to the preamble of the Constitution and no attempt was made to remove them later. So there should be a discussion on whether they should remain." And I'm saying this in a building, the Ambedkar International Center, named after Baba Saheb Ambedkar, whose constitution did not have these words in the preamble, unquote. He's calling for a debate. Leader of opposition and senior Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, he's come out all guns blazing saying the mask is off. The constitution pricks the RSS since it talks of equality, secularism and justice, and that the RSS and the BJP actually want the Manusmriti to be implemented and not the constitution. So that heated debate is our top focus on India First. I'm Gaurav Sawant. As always, let's get started with the headlines. Rahul Gandhi dives into the constitution debate, hits out at the BJP and the RSS, says they want to strip the marginalized of their rights. This after BJP-backed RSS General Secretary's call to review the words socialist and secular in the preamble to the constitution. A student allegedly gang raped by a TMC functionary and two others in the premises of a government college in Kolkata. Survivor says she was beaten with hockey sticks. BJP slams Mamata Banerjee's government. TMC assures action will be taken. The estranged Thakre cousins reunite to fight against what they call is Hindi imposition in Maharashtra. Both Sena, UBT and MNS announced a joint march in Mumbai on the 5th of July. Suspense continues over NDA Vijay tie-up in Tamil Nadu. Union Home Minister Amit Shah keeps the question of PVK alliance open, says there is still time for state elections. United States offers Iran sanctions relief and $30 billion for its civil nuclear program to bring Tehran back to the negotiations table. The preamble of the Indian Constitution says, "We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens," and then it just goes out. Now, to say allegiance to the principles of socialism, secularism, and democracy. The RSS General Secretary has indicated that on the 26th of November 1949, the constitution that was adopted did not have the words secular and socialist. They were added much later in 1976 during the emergency by the 42nd Amendment by Indira Gandhi's government when the emergency was on. The RSS says there should be a debate whether these words socialist and secular should remain. The Congress says this is an attack on the constitution and the marginalized.
RSS General Secretary Dattatreya Hosabale has called for a debate on removal of the words socialist and secular from the preamble of the constitution.
और एक बात,
While speaking at an event to mark the 50th anniversary of the 1975 emergency in Delhi.
हम सब लोगों को मालूम है सेक्युलरिज्म और सोशलिज्म की, वो प्रस्तावना में नहीं थे, पहले प्रियम्बल में नहीं थे। उन दो शब्दों को जोड़ा है। प्रियम्बल शाश्वत रूप से है, क्या सोशलिज्म के विचार आइडियोलॉजी के नाते क्या शाश्वत है भारत के लिए?
The BJP endorsed Hosabale's demand.
Any right-thinking citizen will endorse it because everybody knows that this is not the part of the original constitution which was written by Dr. Ambedkar and the rest of the committee. This is not the question of BJP versus non-BJP. It's the question of preserving the democratic values, preserving the constitutional values.
Method of introduction.
And those who are flaunting the constitution book are actually the biggest violators of the constitution.
The Congress hit out at the RSS and the BJP, calling them anti-constitution.
The RSS never accepted this Constitution of India and its foundational pillars of social justice, economic justice, political justice, saying that this Constitution did not derive inspiration from the ideals of Manu. It was not based on Manu's.
The remarks by the RSS leader assume significance as the BJP and Congress have been accusing each other, attacking the constitution framed by B.R. Ambedkar and other stalwarts of the Constituent Assembly. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi had made Samvidhan Bachao the theme of his campaign during 2014 Lok Sabha elections.
The RSS and the BJP are trying to destroy India's constitution and change India's constitution. The Congress Party and the India Alliance is trying to save the constitution of India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, on the other hand, has time and again described the imposition of emergency by Indira Gandhi in 1975 as one of the darkest chapters in India's democratic history.
कल 25 जून को भारत के लोकतंत्र में जो काला धब्बा लगा था, उसके 50 वर्ष हो रहे हैं। भारत की नई पीढ़ी इस बात को कभी नहीं भूलेगी कि भारत के संविधान को पूरी तरह नकार दिया गया था, लोकतंत्र को पूरी तरह दबोच दिया गया था।
The RSS General Secretary's pitch for removal of terms socialist and secular from the preamble has now sparked off a new political face-off.
The big question is it mere rhetoric, or will the Modi government go ahead and remove these two words from the preamble of the constitution? This is something that remains to be seen. With video journalist Neeraj Kumar, this is Sunil Bhatt reporting from Jammu for India Today.
The preamble of the constitution declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. In March 2020, BJP's Rajya Sabha MP Rakesh Sinha had moved a resolution for removal of the word socialism from the constitution. Rakesh Sinha now joins me on this special broadcast. Sir, welcome on India First. Why did you want the word socialist to be removed from the preamble of the constitution then?
You know, the manner in which these two terms were inserted in the constitution was highly undemocratic. It is not because I am telling that during it was the emergency and the members of the parliament, the opposition leaders were under the prison. even though those who were present, they protested. I am quoting G. Lakshmanan of DMK. He said that by inserting two terms, Indian democracy has been killed. And he protested and walked out. I am quoting another leader, Ramlal Parikh, who was the part of the Rajya Sabha. And during the debate, he said that the manner and method this amendment is being brought, and 60 acts are there. The government does not want that members to read even the basic things of the acts, and this is hurriedly being brought forward so that this should be passed without the discussion in the parliament. I quoted two members. Even during the emergency, it was characterized as undemocratic method, undemocratic manner. So therefore, Dattatreya Hosabale ji has rightly said that there should be a debate, review on these two terms, whether they are relevant or not relevant. This is very important.
So since you raised socialism,
I brought a resolution in the Rajya Sabha.
Yes, and Dattatreya Hosabale ji, he said, and I quote, the words socialist and secular were added to the preamble. No attempt was made to remove it later. In his appreciation, there should be a discussion whether they should remain. What are you calling for? A wider discussion in Parliament whether socialism and secularism should remain in the preamble? And why should it be removed anyways?
You know, as far as socialism is concerned, when K.T. Shah in Constituent Assembly brought an amendment that in Constitution there should be federal, secular and socialist, Baba Sahib Ambedkar himself replied and contested this amendment. He said that the future generation, means posterity, cannot be tied by a particular way of economic thinking. They are free. And he said that in our directive principle of state policy, there are umpteen issues which are addressing the question of inequality. How much socialism you want more? This is the basic premise that we want the resurrection of Baba Sahib Ambedkar's constitution. There is a battle between Indira's constitution and Baba Sahib Ambedkar's constitution. And those who stand for Baba Sahib Ambedkar, they respect his wisdom, his expression and his intention. They stand for Dattatreya Hosabale ji. One more reason that we are opposed to these two terms. India is a secular not because this term is in the constitution. This term was added in 1976. But you see, when the Hindus, if there is a shrinking of the Hindu population, it comes down even the 60% or 55% or even 70%, India would no longer remain the secular country. Secularism is a Hindu ethos. Hinduism is based on diversity. Essence of India is diversity, and this essence is being carried, perpetuated and inherited by the Hindus. So the guarantee of secularism is not the term secularism, but the guarantee of the secularism is Hindus' majority population and their diversity-based way of life.
Sir, I completely agree with you. Hindu way of life is truly secular. But if it is there in the constitution, what's wrong with it? Point one. Point two, given that the Supreme Court's 2024 ruling upheld this 42nd Amendment, found it to be constitutionally valid, how justified is it to push for the words secularism and socialism to be either removed or debated in Parliament? Because the Supreme Court saw such challenges as manifestly flawed.
You know, democracy is not a static system of governance. It is a dynamic. Yesterday's Supreme Court ruling cannot be the ruling of tomorrow. I am giving example that Congress party in 1948 said socialistic pattern of society. In 1956, it comes down to democratic socialism. In 1970s, it comes down to welfare state. And during the Manmohan Singh regime, and before that, Narasimha Rao regime, there was a neoliberalism. Neoliberalism is the antithesis of socialism. You are declaring socialist and you are following the path of neoliberalism. So basic thing is that every population has right to decide the economic thinking. You cannot tie down the entire country with one economic thinking. There are billionaires and millionaires are increasing. And I am telling you one more thing. If socialist, the term socialist used by Indira Gandhi, but poverty increased. Narendra Modi ji, it has provided 80 crore people the foods. 80 crore people are getting grains and in an honored manner. 10 crore toilets. So you are giving dignity, you are giving the basic right to the basic economic right to the people. So therefore, it is not the term, it is the intention of the people, intention of the governing elites that count. Therefore, I think that socialist term in the neoliberal era is redundant. And you cannot decide that 140 crore people would be guided by one term socialist. I protest against this very term socialist. We are egalitarian by the core. We would remain egalitarian without using the term socialist.
Fair enough. The opposition, of course, has repeatedly alleged that the BJP and the RSS constitution is under threat. So how will you counter the opposition when they say the RSS wants to dismantle the core principles of the constitution, first with socialism, then with secularism, and then systematically they will move on?
You know, it was Indira Gandhi during the emergency when Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, Morarji Desai, Lal Sarbani, Chaudhary Charan Singh, Chandrasekhar, Papilu Moore, every leader was in the jail. There was no democratic right. And the bill was passed hurriedly. The amendment bill was passed hurriedly. The reply of Indira Gandhi was unsatisfactory. I quoted DMK leader G. Lakshman who boycotted, who walked out. I said the democracy has been killed by inserting these two words. Ramlal Parekh protested. Even during the regime of dictatorship, these two members protested in the Rajya Sabha. So I consider that there should be healthy discussion in democracy. If you are killing the discussion, then you are disowning democracy. In fact, Indian opposition party is afraid of any discussion. They don't want to be part of any healthy debate. Dattatreya Hosabale ji has proposed a debate in these two terms, whether they are relevant or not relevant, whether they are redundant or they are very utilitarian.
Fair enough.
Think the utility has eroded and these two terms should be removed.
Fair enough. Let me now then throw it open for a wider discussion on this issue, because we always are in favor of debate and discussion, and let our viewers decide what's correct. Rakesh Sinha for joining me here on this India Today special broadcast. Many thanks. And let's throw this open. Joining me for a wider debate is Charan Singh Sapra, spokesperson of the Congress Party, and Sardar R.P. Singh represents the BJP. Charan Singh Sapra, RSS General Secretary Dattatreya Hosabale is calling for a debate. Why should there not be a debate, as they say that this secularism and socialism was not a part of Baba Saheb Ambedkar's constitution? It was brought in only in 1976 during the emergency.
See, Gaurav, debates can always happen, and debates have been happening in this country. Let me also remind you that in the Supreme Court also, there was an elaborate debate on this, and the Supreme Court had said, they have given a ruling, the two-bench judge, in which even the Chief Justice of India was there. He has given a ruling that it is the word socialist and secularism is constitutionally valid. He has given the verdict. So what else they want to discuss? Basically, let me bring it to the point that his argument is little baseless, I would like to say, and they might also have a hidden agenda. What is the hidden agenda? Hidden agenda can be the ultimate goal of BJP and RSS to have a Hindu Rashtra and to also have Manuvad. Now, let me, since Mr. Sinha had quoted K.T. Shah, let me also quote you Deen Dayal Upadhyay's book, Ekatmata Manavavad. Now, in this Ekatmata Manavavad, the key theme was the national unity under single leadership and governance aligned with Dharma. National unity under single leadership and governance aligned with Dharma. Then he argued for one party, one leader. He proposed the concept of Dharma Raja, governance rooted in Dharma, not merely politics. He was advocating Raj nahi Dharma Raj hona chahiye. Now, what is this? This is not what Baba Saheb Ambedkar visualized. This is not what the people who made Constitution of India, they never
Let me then throw this open. Let me bring in R.P. Singh. R.P. Singh, Charan Singh Sapra says the mask is off, and that's exactly what Rahul Gandhi also said. There's a hidden agenda. BJP and RSS want Manusmriti and not the constitution. You want to take away, as Rahul Gandhi alleges, rights of the Bahujan Samaj and the poor and make them slaves by taking away their weapon, the constitution.
Gaurav, who is talking? People who have changed the constitution whenever possible, wherever possible, starting from Jawaharlal Nehru to Indira Gandhi to Rajiv Gandhi to Rahul Gandhi's, Manmohan Singh's time. I mean, they have used constitution like anything they have for their political objectives. Remember 1949, they inducted 370, 35A was not even taken to the parliament. Section 19 of the Article 19 was changed in 1951 by Nehruji. Indira Gandhi ji brought so many amendments. I mean, one of the amendments of 42nd Amendment changed almost 52 articles at one go. And put together, I was going through almost 66 articles were changed of the constitution during Mrs. Indira Gandhi only. Remember Rajiv Gandhi, that postal bill, remember, he wanted to do a postal bill. And he changed the, I mean, my friend Saprasa was talking about the Supreme Court. Shabano case, he turned the Shabano case judgment because it didn't suited him politically, and then he wanted to cater to certain vote bank, wanted to appease certain vote bank. So he changed it by through the parliament. So who is talking? I mean, Rahul Gandhi, remember
but
that Manmohan Singh
respond
passed an ordinance
to Charan Singh Sapra saying that BJP and RSS, their ultimate aim is to establish a Hindu Rashtra, and that's the direction you're moving forward in. RP Singh, quickly respond before I bring in Charan Singh Sapra.
Okay, so one thing is demolished, that who has been changing the constitution? Not us, it's the Congress party. And now coming to the Dharma Rashtra and Dharma Rajya. I mean, this country has to be led by Dharma. I mean, there is nothing wrong in it. And Dharma doesn't mean that you're imposing a religion. They have to understand the difference between religion and Dharma. Dharma is not religion. And then you have to understand what is Hinduism also. Let's go by the definition of Supreme Court about Hinduism. Hinduism is not a religion, it's a way of life. Okay. And then every Indian who lives in India follows the way of life, which is Hinduism way of life.
Okay, let me bring in Charan Singh Sapra. Sir, respond to that. Understand Hinduism is what the BJP says. It's basically dharma is not religion, and dharma raj is rule of law or justice and not rule of a particular religion.
No, Gaurav, see, the BJP spokesperson himself, he has got confused. And he's not able to explain what Deen Dayal Upadhyay has mentioned in his book in 1965. Let me also remind you that Golwalkar had also opposed this constitution.
We are in 2025, sir.
2025. You can go to any extent. You can go beyond, and Congress cannot go. I have just opened the book, and I have exposed everything about BJP and RSS. The issue here is what Mr. RP Singh was talking about amendments. Let me remind him. If there was a 42nd amendment in which this was inserted, then there was a 44th amendment also in which all the things in 42nd amendment were reversed. Why Morarji Desai and even Jansang was part of that government? Why they did not reverse this amendment having socialist word and secular word? Why the BJP did not go for this during Vajpayee government? Why the BJP did not go for this during Narendra Modi's government in 2014 when they had 282 Lok Sabha members, and then NDA had some 36 members, and in 2019 they had 303 and NDA had 353. So when they were absolutely in power, they never wanted to go. They are just discussing now, knowing that Supreme Court has already rejected. They just want to also divert the attention from the failures of this government. They don't want people to ask the relevant questions about inflation, about the other disturbance in the country.
Sardar RP Singh, is there an apprehension in the BJP that this could perhaps adversely impact the BJP in Bihar elections? Because Congress says they will defend the constitution to their last breath. Remember a conversation about a reservation or alleged removal of reservation cost the BJP an election in Bihar?
Well, they keep recreating falsehood and fake news again and again, but that doesn't work on ground. And then who's talking about it? But as per Sam Prasoda, it was Jawaharlal Nehru ji who was the person who got the constitution to India, not Ambedkar ji. And if it's so, then why didn't he introduce secularism and socialism that time? Issue is not of secularism or socialism being added later on in the preamble, although in the initial preamble it was not there, it was not mentioned. But issue is that has been changing the constitution again and again?
Okay.
Who has tweaked the constitution again and again? It's the Congress
Charan
party.
Singh Sapra, let me also take you down.
They are pointing fingers toward us.
Okay. Charan Singh Sapra, I want to take you back to October 1949. Hasrat Mohani proposed this amendment that you begin the preamble to the Constitution, Union of Indian Socialist Republic. It was rejected in 1949. Then K.T. Shah, again, that was November 1948, proposed amending Article 1.1 to say India, that is Bharat, shall be a secular, federal socialist union of states. That too was rejected. So why is the Congress now so insistent that socialism or secularism that was rejected in the original constitution or in that assembly remain in the constitution now? Okay, I'm sorry, sir, you're on mute.
Gaurav, now can you hear me now?
Strength 5, go on, sir.
Yeah. So if it was rejected at that time, it was rejected by the August House. And let me also remind you that Article 25, 26, 27 in the Constitution, that also quotes and mentions several times about socialism. It mentions about secularism, and that's why it was brought in the preamble. Why BJP is so worried? They cannot.
Gaurav, I give you a challenge. Ask him to read the Article 25, 26, 27.
One moment.
And show a single word secularism being used once or socialism being used once.
Let me complete. Do they want to
Article
delete?
25.
Do they want
Article
to delete?
26.
Article 26.
Article 27.
Article 28.
Article 28. Where does the word socialism is there?
No.
Where is the word socialism in Article 28?
The theme mentioned. Now
Let me read Article 28 to you.
Let me talk. Don't shout. See,
no, let me read out. You can't play with it. You are in habit of playing with the Constitution.
No, not playing with the Constitution.
Article 28 of the Indian Constitution focuses on the freedom of religion. In the education institution, where does it mention what socialism?
You read those articles.
Let's read that. Let's read it.
Okay.
Right to
Give me a moment. The last 30 seconds I have on this part of the show. RP Singh, the last 30 seconds I have on this part of the show. The Supreme Court, as Charan Singh Sapra also mentioned, hear me out. 2024 Supreme Court dismissed challenges to the inclusion of the word socialist and secular. Supreme Court said it's manifestly flawed. It affirmed the Parliament's power, and that time they said Article 368, they can amend the preamble, they can do it retrospectively. So why these calls to remove these terms now when the court has upheld it is constitutionally valid, sir? Court has decided. There was a debate, there was a discussion, it went to court and Supreme Court decided it's valid.
Gaurav, there are two parts to this. One is that there is no way we are talking about removing word secularism or socialism from the preamble. It's just a debate. And in what context it happened? It happened in context of the emergency.
Why you want a debate? Now make it clear. He's got caught.
So,
when you don't want to
it
remove,
happened in context of emergency.
Have a debate?
The way the emergency was proclaimed, where the constitution was amended, where 140 lakh people were, 140,000 people were sent to jail.
That they don't wish to remove. But then if they don't wish to remove, then why?
Both of you speaking simultaneously, clearly nobody can hear, and we will continue to have this discussion because the debate is always welcome. Discussions are always welcome, and then we leave it to our viewers to decide what side they stand on, who they consider is right.